Hello.
Hi everyone. Welcome to Azure User Group Sweden Christmas edition. Here with me is Håkan as well. I'm Jonah Anderson, and here with me is Håkan.
Yeah, hello
Hi
everyone.
Håkan.
Hello, how are you? I hope that everyone can take a little bit time off from their busy schedule now when you're buying Christmas gifts, just to enjoy some community time with me and Jonah, and celebrating that we've actually finished 1 year with the Azure User Group Sweden.
Yes, that's right. And I'm glad that we did a lot of great sessions from our speakers for the past months. So it's been great, and we learned a lot together.
Yes. I think as usual, we should probably go through our code of conduct here.
Yes, let me show it. Okay, so before we start the fun part of this session, I want to remind everyone about our code of conduct for the community. We should be nice and friendly to everyone, listen with purpose and be thoughtful, be respectful to others, and seek to understand and not criticize. Be curious and share ideas, and be inclusive in your comments and questions if you have any. And you can read more about our code of conduct on our meetup page or our GitHub code of conduct page. Yes, so that's it. Thank you.
So I think before we start our review of the past year, maybe it's nice to start from sort of the beginning. So then I have to ask you, Jonah, because you're the founder of this user group, what was your thoughts here? Why did you want to start this Azure User Group Sweden?
Yeah, great question, Håkan. It's like I'm being on the spotlight right now. Yeah, so I did start Azure User Group Sweden in the beginning of the year in March. First, it was actually by myself. As you know, so I started Azure User Group Sweden because I saw that in my area, in Sundsvall area, which is to those that who don't know where Sundsvall is, it's in the mid north of Sweden, in Västernorrland, and it's close to Gävleborg region. And I noticed that there are no Azure meetup groups community in my area, not even in the north part. So I decided to sign up a meetup account and start having session about Azure and sharing knowledge there. And I was doing the session alone, and since I only have weekends free and I work weekdays, so I decided to have Saturday. So it's been like that since then. And then you started helping out Håkan as my co-community leader, and I'm very happy for that, for your collaboration. It's been really helpful, and you've been great. And also, I'm happy that past months have gone by. Azure User Group Sweden became a part of Azure Tech Group as well recently, and it warms my heart, especially this at the end of the year, that there are other MVPs, because I'm an Azure MVP and Håkan is also an MVP for AI, and it warms my heart that the community spirit that we have, that we help each other, like speakers and MVPs from other countries are responding and submitting sessions from our call of speakers, and it's really inspiring to do more community when we do together together as a community as well. So it's really indeed that community for the community by the community motto that we started, which was actually for the idea, Håkan. Yeah. So how about you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was just asking a question that maybe the audience might wonder, because the name of this user group is Azure User Group Sweden. So does that mean that there can only be Swedish speaker here on the user group?
No, actually, it's open for everybody. Actually, from the beginning, it was Azure User Group Sundsvall, and then when we started having our first speaker, which was Peter the Tender, and then like it kind of like wondered why is it Sundsvall and where is Sundsvall? So we decided to change it to Azure User Group Sweden so that it's open for everybody, regardless if you're in Sweden or outside Sweden, and it doesn't have to be limited to Swedish language. I like that it's also in English because it welcomes and it's can be diverse in all levels. So yeah, we're in a remote world, in a hybrid world, so it's good to have this kind of setup.
Mhm. And I think we should also say that you don't need to be, you know, an established speaker here to speak at our
Yeah.
user group. So even if you only have a topic, we can help you out actually to help you out with how you can expand on that topic and create, you know, your presentation.
Yes,
So,
that's
so
right.
we're very open for that.
Yes. How about you, Håkan? Can I interview you as well in the
Yes,
spotlight
sure.
since it's about community? How is your experience being a co-community leader of Azure User Group Sweden so far?
Yeah, I think it's been really great, and I was positively surprised because, you know, we put out a CFP, a call for paper on Sessionize where people can register if they want to have a presentation, and we didn't do much advertisement for that, but still I think we have around 60 sessions submitted or something like that. So we have a large library of sessions that we can take from. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that if you have an idea, you should still, you know, submit it to the CFP, even though we have quite a lot of in our backlog. We're still interested
Yes.
in more.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. And we actually we have our audience live today. Say, I see that Ashish is here and Gabriel, and we also have Ahmed with us today. So thank you for tuning in to us live today. I hope
Yeah.
you're having a great weekend so far.
Yeah. I think we can actually have a quick review here of all of the sessions that we've had here
Yeah.
in the past year here. Yes. Yeah, so
Yes.
that's a quite an amazing number of speakers here.
Yes, that's right, and we will do a review of a few of them later as well. And should we tell the audience that we're kind of like doing a feedback form and giveaways later as well?
Yes, yes,
We can do that. Yes. So maybe we can show the QR code. We're giving away like mugs. For the first time, we did like uh, uh, what do you call that? Like
mm,
some stuff with our logo. So we have a mug, we have a mouse pad. So we're giving this away to those that will send us some feedback. So if we want to improve Azure User Group Sweden next year. And Azure User Group Sweden, it's about community. It's not about us, I mean the leaders, but it's all about you, the community. So if you have time, you can scan the QR code and leave your feedback. And usually the questions that we had there was what topics do you want us to cover in the next year, or any good feedback to improve. So feel free to leave your feedback, and those we will select. Håkan and I will select a few of the feedback persons to receive this giveaways.
Yes, and we can probably show it a little bit later on in the show too, in case
Yeah.
someone didn't see it right now.
Yes, that's right.
I think that brings us actually to our first review here of a session we had with Peter the Tender in July. So Peter was talking about Azure DevOps, and let's just hear what he had to say.
So once more, everyone, I would say welcome to my session. And once more, thank you for inviting me. As you know already, I'm pretty passionate about Azure, pretty passionate about Azure DevOps. And I'm going to try and share a little bit of that spark and the passion to you as well in the next 60-something minutes. So when you look at Azure DevOps, it's one of the tools, I would say, that allows you to enable DevOps for your organization. So that's going to be it. Now, if you're new to Azure, if you're new to Azure DevOps pipelines, and you go like, well, what's the purpose? Like, what can I do with it, right? So I came up with a couple of common scenarios. So the first one, you might have an ARM template or Terraform template or Bicep template or CloudFormation if you're targeting AWS, doesn't really matter. And you want to deploy your artifacts, you want to deploy your infrastructure together with your application into, for example, a virtual machine scenario. Maybe before jumping into the real technical topic, a little bit about myself. So Peter, based out of Belgium, and currently working at Microsoft as an Azure technical trainer for almost 2 years. I think in another 3-4 weeks from now, we'll start my 3rd year. And it's probably one of the easiest job roles within Microsoft, where it is literally providing Azure technical training every single week to our top customers and partners anywhere in the world, where for now it is obviously all virtual. And I'm mainly providing training on the architect level and, no surprise there, Azure DevOps as well. So in short, Azure DevOps is a cloud-based application service running as a cloud service. You could also deploy it on premises if you are working in an organization where public cloud is totally out of the question, or maybe it's out of the question for production, but you want to start looking into it. Know that a lot of the capabilities in Azure DevOps, the cloud version that I'm going to use, is identical to your on-prem Azure DevOps server infrastructure.
Is it possible to automate Azure SQL database deployments via Azure DevOps?
Yes, I got a demo on that. So yes, it is possible.
Yes, let's. We look forward for the demos. All right, those are the questions so far. I'll remove myself to the screen so you can continue. Thank you.
Cool. I think it just depends on like what you want to use. So same starting point, my source control, my repository, the branch I want to use. So let's do the PDT branch. That's one I created. It's still the .NET ASP application. And if all works out fine, there we go. It's going to provide the exact same steps. Compiling any or producing any .NET-based application starts with having NuGet, running NuGet restart to grab all the packages, building the solution like compiling it. If you want testing, and eventually we're going to publish an artifact. Why are we publishing an artifact? Because that will become the starting point for the deployment release where we actually going to publish it.
We have a lot of interesting interactions and good feedback about your demo. They really like the demo, the step-by-step instructions. And we also have a new question from Ashish.
Good.
I think this is related to the demo that you just showed. The question is, these variables, I end up having many build and release variables for my pipelines. This is difficult to remember and keep control of. Is there a way to configure variables as text file?
Good question. If you're using the YAML version of the pipelines, then it's becoming part of your YAML syntax. So that could be an option. Another option is storing them, for example, in Key Vault or in Azure App Configuration, if you're familiar with that one. So again, it's just one of the so many options. I like to have them in my pipelines because that's where I'm working most. But apart from that, storing them in Key Vault because most of the variables could contain something secretly as well. And I'll actually talk about how to handle that in a security topic in the next couple of minutes. But the next part is around how can we handle security? Now, why is security important? Because we're doing it wrong for the last 10, 15 years. Why? Because if you look at that traditional flow, although we have a lot of stakeholders, a lot of DevOps team members, security is typically validated all the way at the end, which means we have the application running, we have the firewall integration. We're going to make sure that only authorized Azure admins can touch the Azure resources. We have an anti-malware on servers up and running. We have web app firewall for application services and whatnot, but it's actually too late in the cycle. Why? Because that's where typically security incidents are happening. So what we're going to do is what the industry calls shifting left. What is shifting left? It means that we're going to start integrating our security as early in the stage as possible.
Yes, that was one of the best sessions that I had as well this year. And I think a few of our audience in the community agrees with that. So it was interesting to learn more about Azure DevOps and DevSecOps as well, and great demo and presentation.
I think it's always interesting because you get to learn so much even by being an organizer, because you get to sit in on these sessions and learn about stuff that maybe you haven't heard so much of before.
Yes, yeah, that's right. So you learn while you're organizing events as well. It's like sitting in the backstage and learning from the speaker as well. Yes.
Are you typically using Azure DevOps in your project?
I used to in my previous project, but in my consulting job right now, they're not using Azure DevOps. They're using Octopus Deploy for the CI/CD. So it's a different world. But Azure DevOps, I've used it. It's a powerful tool for DevOps collaboration. So especially for version control. It used to be TFS, Team Foundation Server before. And I think it's better now because Azure DevOps integrates well with GitHubs and GitHub Actions, so it's good. How about you?
Yeah, we are also using Azure DevOps in our products.
Yes.
But we also use Octopus Deploy and TeamCity in the past.
Yes, yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So talking about powerful tools here, in September we had actually a session called Power Up Your Day by Power Platform by Mai Al-Hadri. So let's see here what she said.
Okay, so thank you for having me today. I'm super happy actually to share with you today my journey with Power Platform. So before we start, in case if you don't know me, let me share with you a quick intro about myself. My name is Mai Al-Hadri. I'm from Saudi Arabia, which is far away from most of you. I'm in Middle East. And I have been graduated with the computer engineering bachelor degree. And I have 5 years experience within different companies. And my current position now, a digital analyst within a Schlumberger company within Saudi Arabia. So I'm super active on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Meetup. Even I have a sharing is caring group. I'm doing a lot of sessions related to a Power Platform. And also, I started my journey to be as a Power Addict. And this month, I get the MVP award from Microsoft as the first Saudi female with the MVP. So also, I did similar thing for KSA, specific for the whole KSA within my company. So we did a lot of webcasts for COVID-19, and we did a lot of question asking the people to fill a specific form. So there was a lot of activities, and there was a lot of things they need to collect from the employees. So I was thinking about like, maybe we can build one app and we add everything and make it much easier for the user, because at the end, our customer or our customer is the user, and I need to make sure that the user, they feel comfortable by collecting specific things from the app. And here what I add the employee profile, and here actually it's like a form the user, they need to look at it and fill the information, and every time they need to update it. And it's not only a button there, for each button there is a specific scenario. And here the webcast, it's linked to Microsoft Stream, and once they click on it, I already put the videos within the Power Apps. And it's really a cool feature from Power Apps that you can add your Microsoft Stream videos within the application. Okay, I think I have this one and one more. So within my company, actually, we have a specific team. They are working on, for example, if you are moving from one location to another as a field engineer, they need to book for a specific like a camp or a specific hotel that we have it within the company. So the way that we have it internally within KSA, actually they have an admin, and this admin, he already have a specific Excel. They are maintaining their Excel. And for me, I don't like to use an Excel to put a lot of data. It's really, sometimes I don't trust Excel. I don't like to say it, but a lot of things that can happen if you have a lot of data within your Excel, and it's not secure for sure, specific if you are working with a huge company. So with this one, what we did, I built my data source as a SharePoint, and I built an application to help the admin to receive the request through the application, because the admin, every time they are receiving by call, by email, it's really annoying things. So within this app, the end user will be able to book the room, and the admin will be able to go there. They will be able to receive a notification by using Power Automate. Someone is booking this room. Is it available, not available? And they can check the availability actually from this gallery within the app. So all the functionality that the admin they need to automate their task and to minimize the manual process, we add it within this application, and it's really helpful application. It's similar to the hotel booking, but in like a business style.
And we also have some questions here, so we
Cool.
can start here. So we have Gabriel. He asks, how do you handle interaction with the users and add logic to your Power Apps?
So actually, what kind of tips that I'm follow before building any application or any business project, the best practice is you need to talk to your stakeholders, learn more about what they are doing, because this is the best way to develop it and automate their process. And from there, you can make your if you have a whiteboard, draw whatever they have and think about what kind of things that you can automate by using the Power Platform tools. And imagine, for me, actually, I'm imagine like if I'm replace this current process, for example, sending an email, so I can automate it by using Power Automate. And from there, you can add the logic to your application. This is the best practice that I'm doing.
Gabriel, another question. How does responsive design work in Power Apps? Is it recommended to go mobile first?
So as we know that within Power Apps, you have two options or two layouts that you can build it, one for desktop, one for phone. So what I really suggest for you, you need to think about your application, for example, based on the scenario. For example, on the KSA Excellence Award that I show it to you, that it's better to make it as a desktop layout. Even if it's desktop layout, they can open it through their phone. But for example, for Ramadan application or AMA, the concept behind the application, we want to make it as a phone layout, which is much better than desktop. And still, they can open it from both sides, from their tablet, from their phone, from anywhere devices they have. So you need to think about your application and what kind of things that you can choose based on the layout and based on the scenario that you have it.
Yes, it was really a powerful session. about Power Platform, and we have some feedback from Ashish and also Gabriel. So I see that Ashish, you can show it. This was also a great session. I never used Power Platform, but I started exploring it after this session. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I hope that you find it interesting and more fun. I think it's powerful tool and technology to combine it with the great Azure stuff we have.
Have you been able to try it out, Jonna? Try out the Power Platform?
I did actually once try to create an app, and I think we use it in some division at work, but I haven't really put too much hours in it to do hands-on, but I wish I would like that. I would like to have that when I have free time.
Yeah.
And yes.
Yeah, we can actually, I think we can promote. There is a free course on the Power Platform by Udacity. So if you Google Udacity and Power Platform, there's a free course for you to take if you're interested in learning more about it. But I've also tried out the Power Platform. It's very easy to get something up and running, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Especially if you already have a data source that has all the data that you need, so you can just show it quick and easy. So it was fun to have May Agent 008 in our session, one of our sessions this year, and it was also her first public speaking after she became an Azure. I mean, she became a business platform, a business application MVP. I think. I think so. Yeah, if I remember it right. Yes.
And then another fun and really interesting session was in October, where we had John Kilmister from Southampton. He was talking about how we can break up a monolithic website with Azure.
Yeah.
And what are we going to cover? Well, as I mentioned, it is important to understand, first of all, what a software monolith actually is. So we'll take a look at that. We'll then look at a number of load balancing and routing options, starting with some theory, then going into the Azure services. And finally, we're going to finish up with the additional Azure services that we can use to solve some of the problems that we're going to be talking about in the early part of the presentation. A software monolith, all of the layers of the application are coded, managed, and then deployed together as one single block. So unlike a microservices architecture, where you have lots of different components that all have to talk to each other, in a monolithic application, everything is all together. It's all source code together. Then we get all or nothing scalability. Deploying everything just to one Azure resource has its limits. If you run a promotion on a particular product, you have to scale the entire website. And that website might have a blog on it. It might have a help contact area. It might have the checkout and various other bits and pieces. But we're only running a promotion on one little part of the website. So we're really stuck. We have to scale the entire website, which can be quite costly, or you don't scale anything and you run the risk of having some challenges. This isn't just a software problem. There are really three areas that we need to tackle. The first one is people and team, and we'll take a bit more of a look at that in a minute. We obviously need to tackle the software. We are talking about a software monolith at this point. But one of the areas that I want to highlight is the infrastructure and how actually the infrastructure teams or the infrastructure that we can use can really help solve this problem. And that's going to be the focus of the second half of this talk as we dive into Azure and look at load balancing options and routing that can help us resolve a lot of these challenges. Now, this talk is mainly going to focus on Azure and the Azure infrastructure. But if you are interested in the people side of it, and it is a big part of the puzzle, I'd recommend going and having a look at the Team Topologies book by Matthew Skelton. In that, he talks about how we can design organizational structures with different team types. So things like stream aligned teams, aligning them to business units, enabling teams that are there to assist and help other teams, complicated subsystems and platform teams. So it's a really good book, Team Topologies, and I'd definitely recommend going and having a look if you are interested in learning more about that side of things. If you think of a city, I can't think of a scenario where they ask all the residents to leave. We just bulldoze the entire city, wait a couple of years to rebuild it, and then we move everyone back in. That's not how we would do it if it was a physical set of buildings. So why is it that we consider this when we're looking at software? So if we're not going to knock it all down, what should we do? Well, much like this cake, it might seem like a good idea to eat the whole thing in one go. Going one slice at a time is definitely more manageable, and we can get more buy-in, and we can do things a little bit at a time, and it is much nicer. Front Door has lots of features. We had a look at how we use it to do routing, but it's worth noting that it supports secure origins with private links. So those back-end servers that are behind Front Door, you can secure them so they can only be accessed through Front Door. We get SSL offload. So the SSL terminates at Front Door, and we can use different SSL certs for the communication between the Front Door and the back-end servers. Front Door can also provide you a managed SSL as well for your application. We get a web application firewall. We get a built-in CDN and compression. We can also add in things like you get basic DDoS protection, and we can add in threat protection as well.
So how does Azure Front Door works with serverless architectures, especially those that use Azure Functions?
Yeah, so it works really well, actually.
Great.
I primarily used it for websites that were routing traffic for the end user rather than kind of API traffic. But yeah, you get lots of different options in those origin pools. You can directly select different services, but you can also put in URLs. So as long as something's got a public URL, it can route to it.
Next one, Håkan.
Yes, I had a question here. Can you integrate Azure Front Door with Azure API management?
Yes, I believe you can. I've not done it personally, but I do believe that is an option.
Yes, it was a great session of John Kilmisser about Azure Front Door, and I like that he showed different illustrations about infrastructures, monolithic architecture, as well as suggested the book, the Team Topologies book. Have you read it, Håkan, that book?
It was actually on my list to read, so I have it as an electronic book, but I haven't gotten around to read it yet.
Yes,
have you read it?
Not yet, but I plan to read it as well. I like reading not just technical or programming books, but I also like learning from the organizational or team or leadership perspective. For example, I'm a developer. I like clean code books, and I like refactoring. So books that or like lessons that make us better in what we do in our jobs. And it was a great session of John, and I like the accent. So yeah.
But I think it's also important also what he emphasized, that technology is, it's only one part, that we also have the organizational part, which can play a huge role in whether your project will be successful or not.
Yes, yeah, that is correct. And before we show the next one, I think we have one more, right?
Yes, we actually have
video. Yeah, that's right. Before we do that, I noticed that the past recall of videos that we've been consistent in having the Azure Hero t-shirts, both of us. Have you
Yes.
noticed that?
Yeah, I saw that.
So it was good. Like, it's like through time. I had one that I didn't have right away. I saw in one of the videos with Peter, but it would have been consistent. So truly Azure heroes. Yes,
So
that's
now
right.
it's actually time for one of my favorite sessions here, which is about AI and it's about Azure Percept.
Yeah, I'm Microsoft AI MVP, which means I'm included in the community a lot, doing a lot of those sessions, workshops, events. I'm big tech enthusiast. I write blog posts, and yeah, that's me in short. And this spring, Microsoft announced Azure Percept. It is not just the hardware that we'll see, it's the family of hardware, software, and services designed to accelerate this. Hopefully here on the video you can see the device. It's this board is inside of the case, which is also cooler around it, right? Has two antennas so it can connect to Wi-Fi. Take a lot of pictures of your, in this case, minifigures that we are trying to recognize, and you need to tag those minifigures. Okay, open each picture and define, okay, this is a Tweety, this is a Sylvester. Here you can see how it works, right? It moves forward until cone is detected and then rotates in a spot until it finds that cone is not visible again and moves forward until it hits next cone. Another video where it goes forward, turns around, and such. And then I trained it to recognize like holding a pick with my fingers, and then when I move this pick downwards, I hit the strings and I play the sound. So you can see it now in a video how it looked like. This is happening live from the Percept, and video will be shown here in a second. Here is device stream. So recognize the chord. I have a pick. And when I move the pick, I calculate, so it's moved down, then I play the sound, right? It's pretty interesting, and it's easy to make it work. But for this thing to recognize the chords, actually took over 200 pictures between holding G and C to start figuring out correct chords, plus additionally for the pick. Over here you can see meeting room, and there is Percept put on the top of TVs over here, right? And now Percept is running this model people detection, and live from Percept, just a second, that's me explaining. Live from Percept, you can see detection over here.
With Gabriel, he
Yes.
says here, how does Azure Percept handle data privacy and security?
So yes, device is fully secure. Like you can check on device page like everything that Microsoft Azure does. Like it is fully secure. And regarding the privacy and some things like GDPR and such, the thing is with AI on the edge that you have that model running on the edge, and it does recognition. It can recognize there's 5 people in the room, but it's not taking this video and uploading somewhere, taking the pictures of these people. It is processing it at the spot and only saying, okay, I can see 5 people there, and that's it. So yeah, it's really a great way to solve some GDPR concerns and such, because you are not uploading this video to the cloud, pictures to the cloud, and such. You process it at the spot.
Yes. Yeah. And I also had a question. What challenges did you experience while developing with Azure Percept, and how did you solve or handle them? Any that you remember?
Yeah, I think that it's pretty simple. Like as Microsoft promised on the webpage, from the getting development kit to getting your model running like in 30 minutes, you can do it even faster. It's a really nice device that sits nicely with Azure ecosystem and connects there and such. So only challenge maybe regarding model development, okay, finding the right pictures and data and such, but otherwise, like whole experience was really smooth.
Yes, that was also one of my favorite sessions with Gudrun. It's powerful how we can use Azure Percept in a lot of things. How about you, Håkan? What did you think about the session and the technology of Azure Percept?
I think it sounds really interesting, and actually Azure Percept is on my Christmas list of tech.
Is it for this Christmas or next Christmas?
Probably for this Christmas, but let's see how things.
Okay.
What is on your Christmas list of tech gadgets?
Tech gadget. Actually, I already bought one already. The camera that I'm using right now, it's a Sony ZV-1. It's a digital camera that you can use as a webcam. So as you notice, I have a better camera today. So that's one of my tech gadget lists. But Azure Percept is definitely one of my Christmas list. But since I have not so much time to do lab and hands-on with it right now, I'll save it for the next Christmas. And I'll until you have experience and you can share your learning skills with the IoT device. Yes.
So
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So what do you think about, what can you see here in the future? What things are you looking forward to in 2022?
You mean for Azure User Group Sweden? Yes, actually, as you mentioned earlier, we have a lot of speakers who submitted sessions, different kind of sessions about Azure that are in our session. So next year we plan to have those sessions broadcasted as well. And also, we hope, depending on the feedback that we have, we hope to get feedback from the audience to share, that you can share with us what sessions that you want us to cover. So if you have time, feel free to, let's see, let me show you the QR code again. So if you have time, feel free to scan this QR code to leave your feedback. And yes, we would be happy and thankful for that.
Yes, and we actually got a question here for us from one of our viewers here, Gabriel. So Gabriel is asking us, any tips into how to move from fundamentals level to associate level in Azure?
Yes, great question. I know that you passed AZ 900 recently in the data fundamentals, Gabriel. We are very proud of you, and I'm glad that you also mentioned that Azure User Group Sweden have inspired you in taking the certification. So my answer to that, I can start first, and you can follow up, Håkan, because I know you're also a certified developer. I think the next step is to go for AC204 certification, and it's an associate level, so it's not just learning the theory, but also doing the hands-on. So I myself believe in learn by doing. So in order to pass it, just enjoy learning and pass the exam when it's time. So that's my advice. And of course, Azure User Group Sweden can help you. Me and Håkan can help you if you have specific questions related to Azure development. And even our previous speakers in the community can help you as well. We can direct you to the right people who have the expertise. How about you,
so
Håkan?
I think my advice goes along the same ways as Jonah. So I think, the learning paths on the Microsoft Learn, they're great, but they will only take you, so far. Then after that, you still need to experiment on your own and have some practical experience of using these technologies. But it's always a great start to start out on the MS Learn sites.
Yes, that's right. By the way, we have one of our previous speakers, Carol, with us today. Hi, Carol. We're happy to have you live here with us today. I hope you're having a great Saturday.
Yeah.
And what else? Go ahead, Håkan.
We can also show here, we also have some greetings here for some of our previous speakers that we can show here.
Hi, it's John Kilmister here from Southampton, England. And I just wanted to wish you, as the year comes to an end, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all the members of the Azure User Group Sweden. And we hope that 2022 brings as many learnings as 2021.
Hello team, this is Mail Hadji and you can call me Agent 008. Wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Hi everybody, greetings from Belgium. I just want to say a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everybody from the Azure User Group Sweden. Take care and let's hope we can meet in person next year. Bye.
Hi, this is Rickard. I wish all the members of Azure User Group Sweden a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Cheers!
Hello, Azure User Group Sweden. My name is Goran Vukšić. I am Microsoft AI MVP and I work as an engineering manager for Pandora. I wish you all Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thanks for attending meetups and hope to see you all the next year.
Yeah, that was a good greetings from some of the speakers that we had this year. And I like the intro. The jingle bells makes me happy.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I hope that our audience and the community also likes the greetings from our speakers. So it was we really appreciate that they took time to record the video this week before the session today. Yes.
So I think here before we end this show here today, or at least I have something here in the mug, and I know that you also have something in your mug.
Yeah, but yes, let me see. Before we do that, I want to show you this one. This is the one that we're giving away, a mouse pad.
Mm-hmm.
So if you fill up the feedback form, and this is the mug in that one. So it's kind of nice, a white one.
Yes.
That one. And Håkan and I have decided to end the show with glug. Do you call it also the same way in Norway? Glug?
Yes, but unfortunately I didn't really have time to do that, so I have to do with something called julebrus, which is Christmas soda. It's like a Christmas soda. Yeah.
Is that like julmos in Sweden? Ah, it's cold. It's cold that way. I have it's cold now because I know it's supposed you drink it you're supposed to drink it warm, and I have like a Microsoft mag that I received when I was an Azure hero, and it's still warm, so it's like how do you describe glug, Håkan? Is it like a fermented, can you share?
Yeah,
I think it's a fermented something that's typical for Christmas. So I think I'm not sure if Ashish Gabriel in our audience have tried it, but if you have it, it's worth trying. You usually drink it warm, and then you eat it with pepper caca,
ginger cookie. Yes.
Ginger cookie, call it, and you drink it. Yes, and I also have something here that's typical Christmas in Sweden. This one.
Oh.
Julenisse. It's like it looks like it's a marshmallow. It's pink, and it has like it looks like a tomte or Santa, like what I have. Yes, yeah. How about I hope the audience are enjoying watching us doing Christmas stuff. And I like our background, Håkan. Glad that we fixed it this way. Yes.
Yeah, so I think we can also take the opportunity here to both thank all our speakers, and also you, the audience, if you're watching us live here or if you're watching us on the recorded session. We are very grateful for your feedback and that you participate.
Yes, thank you so much. And if you have questions, feel free to connect to us. And we're excited for the next year. And I hope that you and your family and friends will have a great holidays and Merry Christmas. And Happy New Year.
Yes. Yes, I think we can finish with a Christmas cheer if you have your thing.
Yes, I have it. Cheers. We call it good. We say god jul in Swedish. How do you say it in Norwegian?
Yeah, it's the same here in Norway.
God jul. Yes. Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a great one.